Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's third video. So, bit of a mega Sunday at Gaz Weather Vids, I have to say. We started off today having a look at spring. We did the spring forecast from gazweathervids.com. You can find the video that's still on the homepage. And it's also, if it hasn't yet been placed on the spring forecast page, it will be so very shortly, and there'll be a written post that goes with that. So if you want to know what Gaz Weather Vids is forecasting for the spring of 2017, do check that out. Quite interesting season. Earlier this afternoon, we also released our Sunday roundup. So that video is on the homepage as well. That's extending out a week to 10 days. It's looking at various things such as the Arctic Oscillation, North Atlantic Oscillation, the Gaz Weather Vids Solar Tracker, and more. So if you want to have a look at that, then please do check that out. This is our summer 2017 sneak peek. So now that the spring forecast is out of the way, the long-range bandwagon will sort of roll on to summer. So from now onwards, the focus for the longer range at Gaz Weather Vids will be very much on the summer from now through to the end of May, when we will release the gazweathervids.com summer 2017 forecast. So this is just a sneak peek to tell you what we're going to be looking at through the course of the season, and I'll get on with the summer 2017 sneak peek for you in a moment. We've got some long range models just have a quick look at for this afternoon slash evening, depending on when you are watching the video. So, before I get on with the summer 2017 sneak peek, just say about the ads at Gaz Weather Vids. There's links articles on all the page. Tap and browse through widgets and click through links. You're going to be helping us to pay for the website, and thanks very much for doing that. There's also video ads at most pages, which own up content. When you watch, may close back up again. Just have to pay for gazweathervids.com. Big thank you to everybody getting involved, and thank you for doing that. So, as we exclusively revealed at Gaz Weather Vids last night when we did February's ENSO update, it looks like we could be going back into El Nino. And if we do go back into El Nino for this year, it'll be through the summer that we start to see the event beginning to gather. So we're going to be looking through the spring to see whether El Nino is on the way and starting up again in the summer. And of course, this is the area that we are interested in, Peru over here to Indonesia over here. That's the equatorial Pacific Ocean. This could be the beginnings of the signature of El Nino re-emerging in the eastern equatorial Pacific. If it does, if we do start to see these orange colours gathering here and spreading into the central part of the equatorial Pacific through the spring and into the summer, then we'll be able to say that El Nino is re-emerging. That's certainly what the CFS V2 is indicating. So these are the temperature anomalies, sea surface temperature anomalies on the side for the central part of the equatorial Pacific Ocean. Dates along the bottom. That's July, just there, middle of summer 2017, by which time the model is placing us in a weak El Nino event, and then through the remainder of the summer into the autumn wants to strengthen that into a moderate El Nino event. Now, it's very uncertain what the impacts of the possible El Nino are for the weather in the summer. There's more of an impact probably for the winter, so if you do get El Nino going, could have impacts for winter 2017-2018, but for the summer of 2017, it is very much uncertain what, if any, impacts a developing El Nino could have. There are years when El Nino is developing that seem to occasionally coincide with hotter summers, and the last one would be 2006. But the last excuse me, the last El Nino that we had was in 2015. That's the Super Nino, of course, of 2015, 2016. The summer of 2015 was really quite poor. It was quite a cool, unsettled summer, never particularly warm, except for one very brief burst of heat at the start of July 2015. So yes, there might be a relationship between developing El Nino and hot summers, but it's by no means certain. We'll be looking at that much more, though, as we go through the next month or two. And we'll be looking at analogues as well. No doubt we will have a look at ENSO summers, or El Nino developing summers, through analogues. So we'll be looking at analogues like this one. This is one of our analogues for the spring. From our good friend James Atquill. James, I don't think he's yet beavering away on the summer 2017 analogues, but I'm sure he will be in the next few weeks. He'll be beavering away for us, trying to get some analogues together in terms of course, ENSO, El Nino, developing summers, and hopefully also as the pattern emerges through the spring, what impacts that might have on the summer as well. So analogues will feature in the summer forecast, of course, which we're going to do at the end of May. And also featuring will inevitably be the models, the long-range season models. We'll have 3 long-range seasonal model updates. First one will be at the end of at the end of March, I should say. The second one will be at the end of April. The third one will be towards the end of May, around the time that we release the GazWeatherVids.com summer forecast. So, just to give you a quick sneak peek at those long-range models. Starting off with CFS V2, this is a 700 millibar height anomaly for the summer. And not much to go with. There's a little bit of a hint of northern blocking probably up there, and a bit of a ridge over towards Newfoundland. Otherwise, not really much happening at all. Let's have a look at the temperature anomaly to see if that sheds any more light, and not really. The signal looks a little bit warmer than average in the north and east of Europe, perhaps. Although around the Baltic it looks quite cold. For the west of Europe, it just looks like an average signal, or no real signal to go with that average or no real signal in terms of the height anomaly. Precipitation looks a little bit more worrying though. That's coming out pretty much above average for most parts of the UK this summer. This is the anomaly, precipitation anomaly for the summer, by the way. Pretty much above average in most parts of the UK. So, although the height anomaly and the temperature anomaly doesn't give much away, precipitation coming out above average for summer obviously isn't all that great. So it might be that the CFS is edging towards a more unsettled summer. However, there isn't a great deal to go on, and hopefully as we go through the next few months, weeks and months, we'll find the CFS V2 firming up a little bit. Now, this is from the experimental NASA model. This is the 500 millibar height anomaly from NASA. And this one looks much better. It's going for above average heights around the UK and also extending up to the northeast as well. That looks pretty good if you want a decent summer in terms of warm and dry weather. Look at the temperature anomaly. That's coming out significantly milder or warmer than average for this summer. Precipitation, no real signal there, just coming out average as it is through most parts of Europe. So I don't think it has the signal in terms of precipitation yet for this summer. But the temperatures and the heights do look quite good. And if the heights came off as the model is predicting, I suspect it will be a fairly dryish, pretty warm summer. And this looks quite good as well. This is Jamstec IOD. Now, normally at this range, a Jamstec tends to look quite cold, but at the moment, anyway, it's going for a pretty warm, if not quite a hot summer there for many parts of Europe. Definitely seeing a warm summer. And precipitation is coming out drier than average as well in those sandy colours there, indicating probably a lot of high pressure centred over northern and western Europe, producing those hotter, warmer temperature anomalies. This is the Beijing Climate Centre. This is also looking pretty good for the summer. It's going for quite a big ridge to be up to the north and northeast, which is probably bringing in easterly winds. And of course, in the winter, easterly winds are going to be quite cold, but in the summer, it's a complete opposite. Easterly winds tend to be quite hot, especially in July and August. Less so in June, because they tend to drag in a lot of cloud off the still pretty cool North Sea. But if you get easterly winds in July and August, and September as well, they tend to be pretty hot winds. So you'll not be surprised if I show you the temperature anomaly, but the Beijing Climate Centre is very much going for a warmer than average summer, significantly so really for many parts of Europe. So quite a hot summer being seen by many of these models for this particular sneak peek. Precipitation is also coming out pretty much drier than average, as it is again across most parts of Europe. Let's just check the temperature scale and make sure I've got it right. Yes, I have. So the Bayesian Climate Centre, Jamstec and NASA going for quite a warm, if not a hot, signal for this summer at the moment. And then finally, the UK Met Office GLOW-C5. This doesn't cover the full summer period yet. Only goes from May through to July. So we're only talking about the end of the spring and the early and mid part of summer. But it is looking warmer than average, as it is again through most parts of Europe. Precipitation is coming out a little bit on the unsettled side, actually. So not quite so good there for early summer from the UK Met Office. A little bit wetter, but still quite warm. Maybe you could think a bit about thunder with that. Very, very early days, of course, of these long-range models, so nothing to be alarmed about either way. If you want to, if you don't want hot weather, I know a lot of you are watching and you don't really like hot weather. If you don't like hot weather, then nothing to be alarmed about yet. So let's just wait and see where the models are going. Very, very early days. Conversely, if you do like hot weather, and there is a very early days, there is a signal there for a warm summer or a hot summer. Don't get too carried away with that either, because as I say, it's very early days. In the next month or two, we might see some quite big flips taking place. Who knows what the weather gods have in store via the long-range models. So that's it. That's the end of our summer 2017 sneak peek. It all starts kicking off from next month, from March. So then we will properly start looking at the long-range models and the analogs and what's happening with ENSO in terms of building up to summer forecast, which is going to be released at the end of May. I haven't got the exact date yet, but it'll be the last Sunday in May when we release the GadgetService.com summer 2017 forecast. Well, that's all for now. Check all the other updates out if you haven't yet done so. So there's the spring 2017 forecast. Have a look at that if you haven't yet done so. And there's our Sunday roundup as well. But that's all for now. Thanks for watching.